Announcement overnight from Angelina Jolie, revealing she had her ovaries and fallopian tubes removed to prevent cancer.
I really don't know how to start this video. I've done everything I can to get rid of like the pain, even though I still have so much pain. Obviously for somebody my age, you know, I'm 33, I tried everything I can to avoid that, to still have the option to obviously have a child one day, where I want to keep going with like surgeries every 2-3 months. It just feels like it's too early. It really feels like it's too early. And I'm defeated. I think that's the right word. I'm defeated. I've been thinking about whether or not to do this video. You don't always want to share every little private bit of your life, obviously. I need to come up with an explanation anyway as of why I was gone for so long again. And I honestly feel there shouldn't be any taboo topics anymore in 2024, and we're all human beings and we should just share our experiences, because what we've been through others will still go through at some point. If I manage to only help one person by talking about my journey with endometriosis and the hell I had to go through over the past 18 months, by knowing either what their options are, what they can or cannot do, get people to take preventative measures, or also to just tell everybody, you know, you're not alone in this. Up until beginning of 2023, I didn't even know I had endometriosis, because endometriosis is still a condition that can only be diagnosed via surgery. So somebody has to cut you open, look in there, take some samples, and that's the way. Like, we still don't have a blood test in 2024. We still can barely see endolesions on MRI or CT, you can forget about it. But ultrasound, MRI, usually very advanced stages of endometriosis can be seen if other organs are sticking together in your pelvis. But there's no simple test yet for women to know that they actually have endo. And you have to go through very invasive surgery if you actually want to have a diagnosis. I have just recovered from my 5th surgery in 18 months. That's why over the past 1.5 years, you know, I've been not releasing as many videos, and every video that I did put out was quite an effort from my side to, you know, because obviously you want to make people happy, you want to help them get over their, you know, issues and not just talk about bad things all the time. We watch luxury YouTube, we look into bags because they make us happy, because it's a distraction from whatever anybody has to go through. I mean, I'm sure all of you have your own individual problems. Like I said, when I met my lovely subscribers at the Bulgari event as well, I wasn't sure if I did that, if I could still, you know, bring that happiness, that joy across. And I hope now that I've had a major surgery and hopefully everything is done once and for all, that we can move on and that 2025 will be better. I didn't know up until beginning of 2023 that I had endo. My life was still normal. I was still in Berlin with Jacob. We had the best time, and the first surgery happened in April, and that's when they diagnosed me, because of I had ovarian cysts that got to a certain size where you should rather take them out, or they had like characteristics where you would be like, let's rather take them out, do a biopsy. So they did that. They diagnosed me with endo, and the whole nightmare started. 10% of women have endometriosis. Obviously, it has 4 different stages. For a lot of women, they will never notice that they have any issues. No, for other women, they've been fighting for 10, 15 years to actually get a diagnosis, because they're living with horrible chronic pain every single day of their life. And depending on where you are in the world and what health system you have, you know, a diagnosis can be delayed by years. So in that sense, I guess I was quite lucky that I just was diagnosed with it. I wasn't really looking for anything. It was just a coincidental finding, and they were like, hey, let's take this out rather, just to be on the safe side. Everything was fine, but then I had my diagnosis. From there on out, it all went downhill very fast because I kept growing ovarian endometrioma, cysts, basically deep infiltrating endometriosis. So you have stage 3 or stage 4. For many women, they can take different hormones. The problem is solved. I've gone through everything. I've gone through the surgical intervention. I've gone through hormonal interventions. We tried everything there is, and hopefully in the future women will have better ways of dealing with this. I just had to have surgery after surgery after surgery because the ovarian endometriomas always came back immediately. Once they reach a certain size, you have to take them out because otherwise they could cut the blood supply from your ovaries. You could get into sepsis, shock. You could have extreme rupture, extreme loss of blood, bleeding. So at a certain size, they have to come out again because it's not like a regular ovarian cyst that is follicular and that comes and goes. Ovarian endometriomas, once you have them, there's nothing to shrink them. Surgical intervention is basically the only thing you can do. I had 4 surgeries up until June. And only a month later, the issues were back. And they already told me, hey, you need to make a decision now. Do you want to keep going? Do you want to... Because I was already then, I knew that wasn't an option for me. I can't have 2-3 surgeries a year. And the recovery time after every surgery was 4-6 weeks. And it just interrupts your entire life. I wasn't able to work properly. You cannot travel. You cannot enjoy life. For the past 10 months, I wasn't able to sit. I had pain sitting every single time. And sitting is such an essential part of life. If you would realize how much you sit, and if you actually wouldn't be able anymore to sit, it's driving you crazy. So I knew this wasn't my life. Every surgery is a risk, of course, as well. Every time you have to go under full anesthesia. So I knew this wasn't my way. I wasn't going to have 2 or 3 surgeries every single year. So they were like, let's think about more radical solutions. Because for me, I had stage 4 endometriosis, which means, it's everywhere in your pelvis, basically. It was on my bladder, on my intestines. I had the ovarian endometrioma issue. There was no way of rescuing anything. So you can imagine the mental and physical toll that takes on someone. I'm 34 now, but obviously it's way too early. You shouldn't consider having a total hysterectomy and salpingo oophorectomy at my age. We decided that for the 5th surgery now, this has to be the last one. We found the best endo excision specialist here in the UK, and he's done a great job. Also, guys, if you do suffer from severe stage 3 or 4 endometriosis deep infiltrating endo, go and check out this new Utah-based population study, because it's super important. I don't know how I could forget about this. My brain is still fried, as you see. So we as endo sufferers were always told that our ovarian cancer risk is only slightly increased due to endo, and that it's about 2 or 3-fold. And that's maybe a risk that we're willing to take. However, this new study, that's been a huge study with almost 500,000 people, has shown that actually, if you do suffer from severe deep infiltrating endo and especially ovarian endometriomas, you actually 19-fold at the risk of developing ovarian cancer. And I think that was such a detrimental piece of information that also helped me make the decision to go through such a radical surgery, such a major surgery, to end this whole chapter of my life. I think that study came out at the right time when I had to make a decision. And it's very important that you all do stay on top of your new clinical research that comes out as well. Speak to your doctors about it. Know your options and know your risks. And especially even for just deep infiltrating endo, the risk is 10 times as much. And for people with ovarian endometriomas like me, your risk is 19 times as high. And I think 1%, 1.3% of women develop ovarian cancer in their life. 19-fold that risk is 20%. Guys, so this was such a shocking new, revelation. So do go and read that study. I will link it in the description box below for you to find it. So 20% is 1 in 5. So I think it's just super important to share this. And like I said, if I can only help one person to think about preventative measures, then that's good. My surgery was supposed to be 2 hours. It ended up being 5 hours. And when my husband and I got the operation report and we were reading through it, it was like we didn't expect the extent of what was going on. Because my surgeon was very thorough and he wanted to make this count if we already go through such a major surgery. He removed every single lesion there was. However, I had it on my bladder as well. So while they removed the endo from my bladder, they injured my bladder. So I woke up and I heard that I would need a catheter for 2 weeks. So you can imagine already healing from a total hysterectomy and be lateral oophorectomy is a major, major recovery. So on top of that, to also have to deal with a catheter was a nightmare. The pain levels were... all the other 4 surgeries were nothing in comparison to this, to the recovery of this one. So I had 1 week now of recovery without the catheter. So I'm 3 weeks post surgery. By the time you will see this video, it's going to be 4 weeks post. And as you can see, I can sit again. I have hopes that we can travel again. I can work again full time. Obviously, if you have endo, there is lots of stuff you can try, like I said, before you do the more radical things. But for anybody who's suffering from severe cases of endometriosis like me, stage 4, where it's everywhere in your pelvis, and to be honest, even though stage 4 is the worst level when it comes to endo, there are women where the endo has grown into their lungs, where the endo has grown into their brains. It's really, really rare, but there are cases like this. So I'm always very grateful, and you need to remind yourself that it could always be worse. But if you reach a certain point where you can't take the surgeries anymore, some of you have told me you've had 12 surgeries, and I don't know how you've gone through this. I had 5 now and I'm done. Obviously now I need to take hormone replacement therapy for the rest of my life because you are thrown into surgical menopause from 0 to 100. So far, knock on wood, I've had 0 menopausal symptoms because obviously you get hormone replacement therapy and the hope is that you'll be fine, but many women still suffer a lot, not experiencing anything. I feel like normal and I feel way better than before. So obviously there will be still follow-ups, and I got my biopsy results back as well. Everything is fine. So hopefully with the help of this endo excision specialist, hopefully this chapter is over. 10% of all women have this condition, and 20% of all women with endo have severe cases like me. If you want to help future people who might find this video, leave all your experiences in the comment section down below. Your stories, your experiences, everything you had to go through. If you don't have endo, you probably know somebody with endo. So anything, put it in the comments, because I think we will help other people out there battling this as well. Thank you so much, everybody. You guys know how much I love you for just being there. You have been supporting me. So many of you have been always writing me emails and checking in with me, and I will get back to all of you. It's just been the first 2 weeks I didn't have strength to do anything. I bought myself a new little old vintage Pokemon Nintendo Switch game. I didn't even have the strength to hold up the Nintendo Switch. I didn't have the strength to hold up my Xbox controller. I didn't have strength to, barely hold up my phone. I want to show you now as well. I love this shirt. I've been living in this. It's the coziest blanket shirt, but I will also wear it outside. I just want to show you this because I love it. So I actually have to go to a follow-up appointment tomorrow. So to one of them, there will be several. And I was thinking, you know what? I'm just going to wear this. It's super cozy and comfy. And it's this super wide sweater, but it's like a blanket the way it wraps around you. And it's the perfect post-surgery recovery time sweater dress. And I'm just gonna, I already got my little Bulgari bag out because I think this looks super cute. But how cozy is this? Like, I love living in blankets anyway, as soon as it gets colder. But I think it still looks really nice. And I just want to say, guys, I don't know, I was, growing up when Angelina Jolie did all her preventative measures. She obviously had a different story, a different backstory with her genes, but
Announcement overnight from Angelina Jolie revealing she had her ovaries and fallopian tubes removed to prevent cancer. Of course, this is not the first time she's opening up about a major medical decision. ABC's Rena Ninen is here with those details for us. Good morning, Rena.
Robin, good morning. This is a bombshell indeed from Angelina Jolie. In an op-ed in the New York Times overnight, the star revealing at just 39 years old, she's removed her ovaries and fallopian tubes, and she's doing it despite the serious effects that may follow.
I always admired her for going through this, and now I can just say I'm in the position where I was able to share my story, and I really, really hope it's going to help one of you as well to make the right decisions for you and for your health and for your future. Up until this day, I still admire her for speaking up on everything she has gone through as well. And yeah, guys, if you want to help this video reach people who are potential endo sufferers, please give it a like, share it, comment, and maybe we can reach some people that need it. I love you, and I see you again very, very soon. Bye.